Hi, Marcia.
Hi, good evening. Good evening, everyone. Get
Hi.
some more people in.
Good evening.
Admit all. Trying to get some more people in. Good evening. My lovely,
Evening, Marcia.
my lovely authors. Hi, Chris. Russ.
How you doing?
Okay.
Hello?
Maz, Sharon, Donald,
Hi.
Denise.
What's
Hi,
this?
Welcome.
Sharon.
Hi.
Welcome,
Hi.
welcome, everyone. Okay, this is good because I wasn't sure who would join. And I almost postponed because I was traveling yesterday. I was in Northampton supporting one of my authors, Rudolph Parkinson, on his book tour. And then I also had to go to Milton Keynes to deliver one of my author's banners to a Black History Month exhibition that's happening at the museums in Milton Keynes. So it was a busy day, and I thought over the weekend or even late last week, I thought that I'd probably postpone this, but then I thought, no, I'm not going to do it. So I think it would be good. It would be good to do a bit of introductions. You all know me. I'm Marcia.
Yeah, I know you, Marcia.
Okay, all right. Okay. So we've got Sharon,
Yes.
Donald, Richard, Russell, Irving, Denise, and Maz. Okay, shall we start with Sharon? Sharon's the first one on my screen. Just kind of introduce yourself, what your book's about. 2 minutes.
Hello, my name's Sharon Brown. I'm in the process of publishing, so I'm not there yet. My book's about my health journey with cancer nearly 5 years ago and not going down the conventional route. So taking a different route completely. So I'm excited to have my book published in the very, very near future, November.
Fantastic. Okay, I nearly said Marcia, but I mean, because I'm in the middle, it's not me. Donald.
Yeah, good evening. My name is Donald Campbell. My book is about me being left in the Caribbean as a youngster and what happened while I was there, and then the journey from there to England, and then what happened after that, going to school up until I'm 18.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
And there's someone else coming in. And also then we have Richard Armstrong.
Yeah, no, my book was about, is just going through the final phases at the moment, hopefully released fairly shortly. And it's about my time in the police. It was a real struggle with myself and some of the people in the police. But this is hopefully an honest explanation of what it was like.
Thank you. And Russell.
Hi, my book was really a day from work. Where I work at a National Trust place, and we have a peacock who owns the place. And my book is a children's book, all about a peacock's journey. And I'm thinking it's been published in November after I
Yes.
come back off.
Yes, definitely. I'm planning to have hopefully a month off in December. So all the books that we're finishing this year, and I can't believe it's been a marathon. And I've been in the core office. I've been literally solo all year, and I think I'm publishing more books than I've ever done each year. So just like phenomenal. And then Irving.
Yes. My name's Irvin Lewis, and my book is about my journey back to health. It's also a journey of self-discovery, finding yourself and the important issues in life. So it's a journal come memoirs. So it covers that, a lot of my physical, spiritual encounters.
And what stage are you at in the publishing process?
Well, it's published. It went out back in, was it July? I think it was.
June, I think.
I think it was in
July.
June. June, and within a few days, it was what was it? It was bestseller
It's the
status.
number one bestseller
Seller.
in Christian Miracles. Yeah.
So
Before I
it-
even before I could even put the flyer out that said the book's out, I went to just have a quick look at it on Amazon, and it hit the number one bestseller. Fantastic, absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay, and now Denise.
Hi everyone, my name's Denise Douglas Armstrong. My book was published in April. It's called Don't Judge Me, and basically it's about my life as Caribbean child, first generation Caribbean child born in this country, and how we were caught between two cultures, Jamaican culture and the British culture. And basically, it's a chronology of my life from childhood to adulthood, and the talk about the food we ate, the games we played, all the cultures and traditions. And yeah, basically, it's quite an open book. I've written it in poetry form.
Poetry.
Yeah, so I wrote them about 26 years ago, and just left them. And then during COVID, I had the urge to write again. And then I thought, well, why am I going to write again when I've got a collection of poems? And when I looked at them, they made more sense. So, just had a look through them and managed to select 26 poems. And yeah.
Thank you.
Got my book.
Thanks, Denise. Thanks. And Sanada? How are you?
I'm fine. How are you, Marcia?
I'm good. I'm good.
Glad to hear that. Hi, everyone. My name is Sanada. My book title is called Overcoming Hardship. So I've written this book in order to help people around the world how to overcome each hardships in our life and all obstacles. So this book is helping many people, because even when I was facing many challenges in my life, I've shared the task and process and baby step what each person needs to do in order to overcome the hardship.
Thank you so much. Oh, sorry. And when did your book come out, Sanada?
November last year.
Okay, so you've been a year published. Okay. And then we also have Maz, who's off camera, but are you all right to speak, Maz?
Yeah, I can speak. Apologies, this was very last minute, so I don't want to
okay. You don't scare anyone. Okay.
But yes,
don't worry.
For those of you who don't know me, I'm Maz. I wear many hats, but essentially I'm a mental well-being coach and speaker. And my book, the message of the book is based on that. And it's called Arise, Kintsugi Queens, primarily for women, but it is about valuing yourself where you are now. So if you never achieve another thing, if you never get that man, that house, that car, whatever it is that you're striving for, you're all right. You're all right exactly where you are. And there's a plan and a plan for your life. So that is essentially it. Touches on things about mental health, well-being, faith, all of those things. So yes, that's it. Was there anything else?
What stage in the publishing process are you at?
Yes, so we're coming towards it. We're about to give birth, aren't we, Marcia? We're
yes.
about to a minute now. Push it out.
There's quite a few of you babies due on here tonight.
Yep.
I'm just ticking off my list. So we're getting ready to deliver Maz's, or actually quite a few, Richards, Sharon's. Let's see which one is actually birthed first out of this group. Okay, and Claudia, you able to come on camera, Claudia?
Bear 1 minute.
Hi, you in the car?
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Claudia Brown McHenry, and I am the author of the book, Broken But Not Forgotten.
Okay.
It's a book. It's an encouraging book. It is talk a lot about the subject area of brokenness and how it affects one's life, and how by trusting in God which is the catalyst of my wholeness when I was broken, that allows me to be the person that I am. My book was published in June. Oh, sorry.
In March, wasn't it? Was it March?
March.
I think it was March. Yeah.
Okay.
Yours was the first. Yours was the first book we published this year.
Yes, mine was the first of 2023.
That's it. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes,
She was due. She was due earlier, but she was that baby didn't want to
Oh
get
yes,
out.
it was in March. I had the launch in
In
June. So
June,
yeah,
that's
correction.
right.
Thank you
Yeah.
so much, Martha.
You're
And
welcome.
so yeah, and it is really an encourager. It is for dominant woman, but it's for anyone who's going through a broken time, and you just need a word of encouragement. This book says a lot, talks about how God can really heal you and can really make you whole. I'll talk a little bit about my own self, my own experience, and what I've encountered, being a migrant coming into this country, being a mother, being a child, speak for a very long time. Talk about my journey as a student and as a businesswoman and all the struggle that I've encountered, but I've trusted in God to really bring me through. It's an amazing journey. I enjoyed the experience and it was wonderful.
Well, all right, I'm coming back to you later. Thank you, Claudia. Okay, and we also have Alison Williams. Miss Alison, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Are you able to come on camera?
Oh, I didn't expect that.
Can you give, just introduce yourself and just tell a little bit about yourself, but about your book? So this is your autobiography. So we're all curious. Are you able to come on camera?
Yeah, hold on.
Thank you. I will.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Yeah. Hello.
And the first question
I thought I was just listening.
Well, I thought we'd do introductions because it's nice that, you don't all see one another and see who I'm working with and find out. But also we've got a couple of authors on here who are members of our author chat group on Facebook, whose books I haven't published, but the majority of you I have. So Alison, tell us, first I need to ask you the title of your book because we've played with this title, So if you let everyone know the title and what it's about, please.
The title is going to be So Tell Me Something I Don't Know.
Okay. So tell me something I don't know. Yeah.
And that was my catchphrase during my nursing career when, the racism was rife and it was really frightening and scary and horrible and physical and nasty. I couldn't understand it because, I came from Trinidad and I thought we were happy we all got on and we worked together. We had all different colored people and I never had that sort of experience before. And I just came up with a phrase one day when I couldn't take it after talking. I spoke to my mother and she just said, just get on and sort yourself out. She didn't actually tell me what to do. And so I came up with that and I just said, right, I know that I am Black. I've been Black for 20 years. So tell me something I don't know.
Okay.
And
that's what you used to say.
It numbed the room and there was no answer to that really.
Yeah.
And so I said it all the time and it changed my life. It changed everything about the way I worked and the people I associated with. And so my autobiography is about that journey.
Okay.
And, all the other problems. I mean, the racism continued, but it was much more subliminal rather than the overt slapping and hitting you and saying you're dirty and the black will rub off.
Yeah.
That went on through my training. But as I got more mature and as I got more senior in the NHS, it was there, but very different. Like when I became a manager, my doctor telling me he never noticed all the time I'm his patient, he never noticed my blue eyes. How did I ever manage to get a management job in that hospital? And things like that, and it's just a record of my journey that
and
that I've
so
written.
Alison, yeah, it's a very, very remarkable life Alison has lived. And I know working with Alison, I could taste the food in the Trinidadian food, just talking to her, but her journey as a head, in midwifery, the changes that Alison instigated and the methods of working that Alison put in place at that time. I'd say that was what, in the 80s, 90s, Alison,
Yes.
where you were in management.
Yeah, 90s, yeah.
Yeah, and then that earned, Alison was awarded an MBE for her services to midwifery in the UK. So, remarkable book. All of the books are remarkable. We didn't get some of the titles, and this is one of the things. So, when you have a book, you need to be able to introduce your book, tell people the title, and give a very short, if you can do, it's a bit like that elevator pitch, give that a synopsis of your book within less than a minute, really. You need to give them an overview. I know with Richard, he was concise. We didn't get your title. What's your book title?
It's called Bulletproof Corset because we used to wear our armor under our shirts, and he was nicknamed a corset because it was so restrictive. But that was the kind of joke.
Okay, brilliant.
And mine was called Percy's Adventures.
Yeah, it is called.
The
and it's by
Percy, by the way.
And your author and his author name is Rusty Nail. His
Yeah,
name's
Rusty
Russell
Nail.
Hammer. we thought of Rusty Hammer, and then we decided his name is. I need to change your name on here. He's actually Rusty Nail. All right. What I'm going to do now is just share. So you're all at different places, but I want you to understand that in order to sell your books, there is some work that you have to do. I'm just going to. I thought I'd share a bit of my journey initially, and then we'll start. We can start like the Q&A. This is a session for your questions. If you have questions that burning questions, put them in the chat, and then after I finish my presentation, I will go through the questions and hopefully help you out with whatever is a burning question for you. Okay, right. So now I'm going to use my technology and share screen. I hope it works. In previous times, I would have had a someone in my team. Right, let me just get the slideshow going. Okay, so can everybody see this first of all? Can you see build was successful? Yep.
Yes,
okay, I thought I would use this presentation today because it's all of you. So yes, I have a book business, but every one of you who are publishing a book or have published a book, your book is a business. It's a product that you have created that you can sell and make money. So therefore, you have to treat it as a business. It definitely is. And it's an opportunity to have a nice passive stream of income. However, can you still see the slide or just me?
You can see the slide.
Slide as well.
Yes,
okay.
Yes.
All right, that's fine. That's all I need to know. Okay. Right, let me move this PowerPoint on. So remember, if you actually have a business. Right, move forward. Okay. So this might look like I'm going backwards because this is one of the questions I think either myself or Chantel or someone in the team or if you publish your book somewhere else, this is a question your publisher would have asked you or your book coach would have asked you. What is the purpose of your book? The most important aspect to being able to sell your book is for you to understand its purpose. Why have you written it? What did you initially want to achieve? Maybe that's changed, and maybe now, as you've gone along the journey, you're getting ideas about other things you might achieve with the book. So some people say they want to be a millionaire, like me, not. Some people say they just want to do it because I have a powerful story and I want to get that story out there. And it's not about making money, but it's something for myself. It's like self-actualization, where I've been able to tell my story, my take of the story, and feel that sense of satisfaction. So you need to be clear. Why did you write it? I think, let's make it interactive. I'm going to ask you actually each. We only need 2 words. 2 words, please. Okay. So I'll remove my spotlight. I'm just going to, I don't know if you can see the gallery, but I can see you guys. So I'm just going to say, Sharon, what's the purpose of your book? Very short and sweet, please.
My book is aimed at women who want to heal for any type of health journey they're going on. It's also a book.
That's enough. Okay. Richard, what's the purpose of your book?
To explain my journey through the police and to let people understand what it is to be a police officer.
Fantastic. Russell, purpose?
Purpose is to bring joy to children with a book they can read, young children.
Okay, brilliant. Brilliant. Denise?
To highlight how West Indian culture has influenced British popular culture.
Okay, brilliant. Sanada? Sanada, are you there?
Sharing
Okay.
story, its story and bigger achievements.
Okay, great. Story and bigger achievements. Irving?
It's to inspire anyone who's going through a period of illness or sickness, and
Okay.
also a path of journey to self-discovery. Who are you? Who
For
am I?
anyone who reads it. Okay, great.
Yes.
Claudia, purpose of the
To
book?
inspire and to encourage anyone who's going through a similar situation as I did.
Okay. Alison?
To share and pass on my Caribbean family values to youngsters, younger people.
Fabulous. Donald?
Mine is about every one of us has got a path of life. So mine is my path of life as a trilogy. So
and the purpose?
The purpose of that is just to tell the journey of my life.
Okay, wonderful. Maz, purpose of your book?
Purpose is simply to create legacy and to empower women who feel broken. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Now, I mean, this is kind of tied up into the purpose. Did I cover everybody? Did I miss anyone? No, I didn't, by the sounds of it. Okay. So you're identifying that, like with Russell, he's identified children. So the readers, let's go on to the ideal reader. The readers for his book will be children. So all of you, this is something that when I'm coaching a client, you've got to be very clear about. If you want to sell more books, who's your ideal reader? So you have your purpose. So your book has a purpose. And I think everyone mentioned a certain type of person, almost everyone. So who is that person? For Richard, I think maybe it might be someone who's considering joining the police, someone who's curious about what it's like being in the police, someone else who's had an experience in the police. And then remember, you'll have your ideal target readers, and then there will be other levels of readers after that. So the reason I'm really honing in on this is because this is how you'll identify who you need to be marketing your book to, who you need to be finding to let them know about this book. So I just want you for a few minutes to actually write down, tell us about this ideal reader. I'll give you an example. So when I wrote my memoir, my ideal reader was women who were in leadership or business, but who were feeling broken and isolated. And I wrote about my life because I wanted to reach these women and for them to consider whether they would work with me as their coach. And so I wrote it in a particular way and I marketed it in a particular way in order to reach that ideal reader. I also wanted to reach people that didn't normally read. So I made it quite simple language, the font a decent size, so that these people would find the book accessible. I'll stop here because that was an example of my why, the purpose of my book. What did I want to achieve? I wanted to get more coaching clients and share my story. And my ideal reader was a woman, any women of a certain age. It didn't have to be Black women, any women who were in leadership or in business who were struggling with, they might have been struggling with, what's the word? Limiting beliefs, issues that were holding them back. So I need to take a comfort break. So I think it's the right time for you to have a few minutes just to jot down and identify who are the people that you want to read your book. And then I'll be back. All right.
Sorry. I mean, we coming.
Just gonna make a coffee.
Right, I'm back. I'm back. How are you getting on? You managed to identify your any?
I
Yeah.
You have. You managed to identify. Brilliant.
Yes.
Just give me a. Yeah, you can just say. Well, you don't have to say who you've identified, but just give me a thumbs up if you have. Okay. So then you have to think about how do you reach them? How are you going to reach these people that you've identified? Let's move on to the next page if I can. Right. Now, some of you might cringe at this heading. Some of you might be excited. Some of you might say, I've done it already. But it is important to reach people.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we live in an age where social media is key.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, everyone lives their lives in their smartphones. A lot of people do. They shop from there. People communicate with one another through it. If you want to read, you go through a phone. So that's the place that you need to be. You need to be in people's phones. Your book needs to be in people's faces. I mean, not so much that they're like, oh, they're sick of it. I'm sick of it. I've already bought a copy and given a review. Why am I still seeing this? But you need to have the courage because I have to say, I use social media. I share. So I have a couple of business pages, and I have another page that used to be the traditional friends page, but now it's converted into a professional page. So I utilize social media to blog, for example. So you must maximize because there are people that will read. They may not even comment. They may not even like it, but people actually do look at and read and sometimes go back to what they see on social media. Okay, let me move on. You know why it's difficult? All right, let me use it do it on the keypad. Hopefully it will do it for me. Yes. So using social media is really important. Can you see visibility there?
I can see Viz.
You can only see Viz.
Yeah, I think I've got the chat open down the side of the.
Oh, probably. Yeah, to try and if you can close it. Okay, well, okay, so visibility is important. You've got to get yourself seen. You've got to get your book seen. Nowadays, people don't actually speak about be on social media. They just talk about be visible. Because if you're not seen and your book's not seen, then your book's not going to get sold. It's as simple as that. Now, in using social media, it's a place where you can get followers and build a rapport with them. So it's not a place just to post your ideas or post information. It's a place to engage and connect with other people. So you need to put your information on social media, but also look at other people's posts and comment, and people will see what you've said, and then they'll think, I need to follow this guy, or I need to follow this woman because she's talking sense, or I need to look her up because that was a load of rubbish that they said. Whatever the case may be, it's important to build rapport with the audience. And I'm saying social media at the moment, the traditional social media, but when I say this, it could be through podcasts, it could be through YouTube making videos, TikTok making videos. The other thing on social media, video again is king. Videos are more powerful. Very short videos are more powerful than you creating these posts and flyers and putting them on. People want to look at what people are doing. So it can even be videos of you Like if I think about Irving then, so Irving's book is about he had a brain tumor, and you could put together a slideshow maybe of some photographs from that time, or if you had any footage, if anyone had any videos on their phone, you could then, take snippets of them and use them on your social media and write a bit of narrative that goes along with it. But so on your social media, you're taking your readers on the journey with you. And those of you who've not published yet, you're in the ideal situation, because this is when you need to be getting the word out. Now, I know for Ross and Richard, and actually Sharon and Maz, we haven't yet completed your covers. It is great when you've got your book cover that you can start to use that to tell people about your book. Use WhatsApp. People call WhatsApp. WhatsApp is a form of social media. Use your email. Send emails out. Create an email list where you could send a newsletter. So it could be the Overcoming Hardship newsletter, Sunada, that you send out, and it could take small extracts from your book, and then you develop it and you email it to your email list. So you're reminding them of the story, Denise. This is a great time for your book, because it's Black History Month in the UK, and it's getting out bits of the story. But you might not put poems out, but you might talk about it and build conversations. I mean, the other thing that you also need to do is go live as much as possible if you can. So if you are brave enough to actually go live on Facebook, go live on Instagram, you can even go live on LinkedIn, you can go live on YouTube, and you just do even a 2-minute live, or you do a live, you raise the topic, saying you were born, you first generation from the Windrush, and start the conversation and just talk about it. And even if you only see 1 or 2 people join while you're live, it doesn't matter. Just keep going. Just keep going, because then you can save that live on your social media, and then people go back to it afterwards. And I know of one of my authors, she decided that, Jeanette Barrett, she decided that every Monday at 5 to 6 or 10 to 6, she was going to go live just for that 10 minutes up to 6 p.m. And it was a bit like probably 6 o'clock news, I suppose. And every Monday, we knew that she would come on and talk about some of the topics that are in her book. And she created a real following, like I need to tune in to this. So consistency is everything as well. And it's not, you don't necessarily post your link in that post. Post your link in the comments. So the link for your book. So you create your post, or you do your live, or you post your video, and then you just say, oh, the link is in the comments. And the reason for that is because with the algorithms on social media, each platform doesn't like you to direct people away from their platform. And so when you put the link in the main post, not as many people see it as if you put your link in the comments. So that's a tip that I'd learned. But maximize on social media. All right, I'm just gonna a quick go around the room. Okay, so Donald, how do you use social media for your book?
No, I mean, I do so many things. I'm not a great person in the social media world because of the amount of things I do. But I see it as a very valuable tool that needs to be improved upon in terms of what I do. Okay. So it would be making a special effort to do this because of the other things that I do in my life.
Yeah, absolutely. So there are also tools as a busy person, there are tools that you can use that can help you to, say if you have, I don't know, a couple of hours, if you had a couple of hours on a Sunday, for example, you could schedule your posts for the week or for the month, and then they will just be posted out. So, I mean, I can do another session more in depth about how to use social media, or also do, if you're not using social media at the moment, maybe I'll do something one-to-one to help you with your social media.
Sorry. When you say schedule your post,
yes.
What do you actually mean then?
Shall I show you? I can
sure.
show you. Okay, right. I'm going to share it on the screen. Does anybody on here do the scheduling for their posts, by the way?
No.
I've not used it.
Not used it. Okay.
I'm an up and coming author. I can't do it yet.
No, you got to become. I know your book's got to come out first, but not really, because now is the time to say,
Yeah.
oh, I hope my publisher is with the publisher, and I've had this feedback, or I've had this, or you post, I've just had a Zoom with my publisher, or I've just got feedback from the editor, and I really want to, so you can just drip things out there that they know something's coming, and it will build the anticipation for the book. So now, did you use scheduling tools for your social media?
I do, but as you can see, I'm very active. So what I do either every day in the morning or in evening, I take 10-15 minutes and I do each day my posts.
Okay, every morning.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's when you do your post, and then you schedule it for throughout the day.
Yeah.
Okay, brilliant. So you just do what, an hour in the morning, half an hour in the morning?
Yeah, I don't need long, usually 15 minutes and I'm done with it.
Yeah, brilliant. So that's that's an example. Irvin, do you post about your book?
I do, and I have done, and I have found actually that WhatsApp has been quite popular.
Yeah.
And Instagram.
Yeah.
And
WhatsApp is a good place.
Yeah, I find that I get a lot of response from WhatsApp and Insta. And then when I post it out on Insta, other people repost that.
Fantastic.
And then I get feedback. People start inquiring. I've had a few inquiries through that way, but I'm not consistent at the moment. I'm not consistent. I have done it because I suppose I kind of treat social media like how I would see it.
Yeah.
If someone is sending out too much information,
it's annoying. Yeah.
Too often, then you pick and choose what you'll read, and sometimes you probably think, I won't read it this week.
Yeah.
And if you really want people to read, you've got to have the timing right.
Yeah.
So it's in the back of my mind to use it a lot more, but I think the idea of using it once a week is probably good.
Yeah.
Or once every 2 weeks, or
once a week, I think. Yeah. Well, it depends what works for you, because you don't want that overkill. I agree. There are
the thing is,
yeah.
The thing is, I like to listen to other people's posts.
Yeah.
So if you've got 10 people and you're reading 10, and then you're posting as well, and you want everybody to read yours, it's most likely it's the same pool of people. And if there's too many and too often, then I find that it's a bit of an overload.
Okay.
So that's how I see it. I mean, I haven't used it that often to know. I have friends and family who use it all the time, and their following is quite high. It's quite high.
Well, sorry, Marcia, what constitutes a post then?
Well, you can post a flyer. You can post. I mean, I've had a look at your page recently, Donald, and you've got posts about your book. You've got posts about all the different projects that you work on, and flyers or photographs. So they are posts. Okay. But what I'm saying is that there has to be a consistency, and also you can blog on social media. So you can write, something a bit more lengthy and of interest that people will sit and read and comment. There are times I will write. I write a lot. I'm private, but because I wrote a book about my life, where is it? It's very old now. But because I wrote this book here, Geraldine's Pearl, I I tell a lot about my life from birth all the way through. So this, whatever's in this book, is public. It's public property. So there are many parts of my life that I do blog about on my social media. I will write about it on Facebook, and I will write about it on LinkedIn. And I find that it really, like, really honest things. So, I'm very transparent. And so what happens is it actually touches other people, and then they like engage and comment, and it's amazing when you are like, when you blog like that, it's amazing how you start to build a following, because I'll bump into people and I don't know them, and they like, oh, and they know, and say, oh, sorry to hear about this, oh, congratulations on that, and then I realize there's someone from my social media page. So I might not sorry, go on.
Sorry, is it necessarily, it's not necessarily something about your book, but it's about your life? Or is it both,
your book is
what?
about, okay, so remember, the other thing is people buy from people.
Mm-hmm.
So those of you who are using, say, a pen name or want to be anonymous, because I also have authors like that who do that as well, then the story itself needs to be at the forefront of what you post. Or you don't even have to tell the story, but the topics in the story. So I've got different things: homelessness, divorces, I've got husbands, I've got, things that happened in my childhood, having a child. So really, once you've written a book, you have a template, and you actually have loads of content, because every chapter is a whole piece of content that you can reconfigure and write on your post. You don't post the whole book on it, because it's copyrighted material. But even like, you hold your book and you take photographs of the pages, and post them. But not only that, you must encourage people who have bought your book to send in photographs of themselves with your book, so that you can use those. So it's not just like every minute it's Irving. We just seen Irving every minute. Irving with his new hairstyle. Irving with that hairstyle. Talking about myself. And and then, like, it's more about the hairstyle than the topic itself. But then again, you can utilize things like, you've had your hair done, so I know it's boring that, people have to post, what they had for dinner and things like that. But I say anything that is relevant to the story. So Sharon, your book is the alternative. It's like the alternative therapy for cancer. And so food is a critical part of your book. So, it's whatever's relevant for your story. Russ, yours would be your characters. You've got lots of different animals who are characters. You can start introducing your characters.
What's planned for me is, I have got stuffed animals of all the animals I've got in my book. I can use that.
There you are.
As you know, I work for the National Trust. They've already asked me if I could read my book at Moseley Old Hall at Christmas.
Oh, fantastic. I need to be there.
Also been, believe it or not, invited by somebody I work with to go and read at their nursery school on World Book Day.
Fantastic.
I was also thinking of, because I like where I work, Moseley Old Hall.
Yeah.
It's money. I was going to make, like, for every book I sell, give a donation.
Donate. Yeah.
And try and get onto the National Trust website.
Fantastic.
My book, because I'm not allowed to sell.
Yeah.
A charity in it.
That's right. Then you can do it. Yeah. So
and I do use Instagram and stuff like that as well. So I could make a little video with all the animals.
Yeah. And remember, you've got to connect with other people on social media in order for them to follow you. So you've got to, like, you've got, like Irving was saying, you've got to go on other people's pages. You've got to read their stuff or comment on their things, so that then you can get the following. The other thing that you can do on social media, I'll show you the scheduling in a minute. The other thing you can do on social media is paid ads. So if you don't want to be there posting, you can select the audience that you want. You know, the friends page that you have. Do any of you have a business page, an actual business page? Does anyone have one?
Yeah, I've got one. Yeah.
You've got one, Denise. And is that for your book?
No, it's for because I'm a hairdresser as well. So I've got organic. It's called Natural Life, and that's
Okay, so you've got one for your business, but not specifically one for you as an author. But do you post on there about your author journey?
I tend to do the author journey on
the friends page.
Yeah.
But what I've discovered, because my so-called friends page has recently transformed into that you can transform it into a professional page. And that means it has all of the features that a business page would have. So if I go onto my, I'm going to go onto my Facebook. So if you're using a pen name, then the identity of that Facebook is in the pen name. If you don't want to show your face, I have authors who create avatars for the author, and so it'll be their content that will pull people rather than the actual individual. But that doesn't mean that you can't, like say Richard, it doesn't mean that you can't create, take photos of different things and pop them on that relate to the story. You can do that without it being you. So it's helpful. All right.
Hi, Marcia. Can I say something? It's Tina.
Oh, well, where are you? Are you on Ashara's
I'm on
phone?
Ashara's.
Oh, hello, Tina. I was wondering who Ashara was actually. Okay. Yeah.
I did put in the comment box, but you haven't seen it.
Yeah, I'm going to go to them in a minute. Yeah.
Because I've got the two social medias. I mean, on Insta, the 2 pages. My business one.
Oh yeah.
And then I've got the grief one in it. So, but obviously, you're saying about the book. So obviously, I've got most of my followers are on my business page. So,
okay, so you've got a grief page. Yeah. And you've got your business page.
Yeah.
Well, your book is about grief, isn't it? So potentially, I think it would make sense to use your grief page to introduce your book.
Yeah.
What do you do in your business? Does your book relate to anything? Your business is about rehabilitation, isn't it, of offenders? Is that right?
Kind of, just how it affects like the families and stuff, and how families on the outside as well as the offenders inside. So for instance, like mentally and emotionally and things like that, and integrating them back into society when they do come.
I mean, in a sense, your book, I'd say, is it a page on Facebook?
No, no, I've just got it on Instagram. Yeah, I've got my business page on Facebook, but I don't really use it. I use mostly Instagram.
Okay.
So I've only got a personal page on Facebook.
I would suggest use the page that's about grief, because your book is about grief. I don't know what everybody else thinks, but I would suggest you use that rather than opening another one again. And then what you need to do is, the other thing is, if you have a social media page and one hasn't got many followers, but you have another one that's got more, you need to also keep inviting the people on your pages or putting it out there for people to follow you on your Insta. Because also the more followers you have with the algorithms, the more people will see you, even if they're the same ones from your Facebook, that go over that. But more people will, Instagram will show your page to more people, and make it a public page so that it's accessible. Anyone
Both my Instas are public, but my Facebook, because it's personal, it's not public.
That's fine. So you just do that for friends. You also use your friends page for your book. Have you posted anything yet, Tina?
No, I actually sent, but your phone's not on. I actually sent you
oh, did you?
a thing today to see if it was okay for me to post it.
Yes, it's time.
Yeah,
It's
until,
time.
yeah.
You must do. You must do. So actually, guys, Tina, well, AKA Ashara, Tina's book is actually the next baby. It's ready. Her book's ready. Her book launch is planned. I actually have 2 book launches on that day. So I think Tina's the first baby out of this group. Okay. Okay. Shall I pick up your questions now, or shall I just show you how to schedule? I wanted to show you how to change your friends page and show you my friends page. So you could see that it's now a professional dashboard. And with the professional dashboard, you can schedule your posts. You don't have to use a different app to do it. Like years ago, I used to use the app called Hootsuite, put all my posts on there, and it would send them to Instagram. Was I using Instagram, LinkedIn, and Facebook? And I'd schedule them to go out once a week. It was a bit like, it's a lot to do really, just to get the timing right, and then some of the posts, I'd done it and I'd not spelt a word properly, and then it gets posted. So it was more difficult to edit. But now, and Lady Alison, do you use social media at all? Unmute, please. Unmute. We can't hear you.
Sorry,
Do you
no,
use
not
social
really.
media? No.
WhatsApp.
Okay.
I mean, I look at it, but I don't have pages or anything like that I know of.
Okay. So with your WhatsApp, create a broadcast list. I don't like WhatsApp groups at all, because you can have them pinging, and then when you have a look, people are having a conversation that just has nothing to do with you, and your memory gets full of messages and things. But on your WhatsApp, you can create a broadcast list. So you can select from your contacts and create a list of people that these are who you're going to broadcast the information about your book to. So that would be helpful to you, Alison. Those of you who this technology is a bit difficult, then find someone in your family. Alison, you've got to see if either your grandchildren or your daughter can help you and kind of run your social media for you. I mean, I've seen you on TikTok, so somebody's posting you, so during Carnival.
That was the Evening Standard.
Evening Standard, that's right. So I watched the post with the Evening Standard on social media. Like what Russ has said, I mean, just moving on from social media, which I've spent a bit of time on this, it's press releases, your contacts. So Russell has been given some opportunities to speak. I know Irving has. Irving and I were on the BBC together. We were invited together a few weeks ago for a show. I know Donald's been on the BBC with his book. Alison's always in the news. So it's also those connections. If you know the reporters who have reported something for you before, we do a press release, and the press releases go out to those publications. So these are all things to think about. Let me show you. Am I on social media? Yes, I am. Right. Let me just show you this. I don't know if anybody uses this. This is actually my business page, but this is called, and this is inbuilt in Facebook, and this is called Meta Business Suite. And what you can do on here, I mean, the good thing about this, you're able to see who engaged. Like it's telling me I've got 53 new people, so I need to invite them. Or I've got 53 new followers on the page. But also, so these are my recent posts, and I've created ads for these, and I've spent probably about £10 each just to get them, get a bit of notice to the post, so you can see, and it will tell me it's cost me £3.83 so far. So there is this business suite that you can schedule your posts on this. Let me show you. So if I was to create a post, so click create posts. I don't know if it will do it while I'm on Zoom as well. Yes, it will. So then I can create a post that will post to, if you can see in this corner, it's going to post to Facebook and Instagram. And let me see if I can find a photo to add. I'm just going to choose one from my desktop. Let's see whose it is. All right. So I've got Norman Goodin's flyer. That's it. And then I put the details in. And yeah, this business suite will customize the post based upon the platform it goes on. And I'd put something like, I'm excited to go on to announce this book. But then if I carry on down, can you see where it says scheduling options?
Yeah.
So you can publish it now, or you can schedule it, and it will give you options. I haven't written anything in the post, but look, you can decide. I could decide. Sorry, Donald. Yeah.
It wasn't me.
That was me.
Okay.
That will publish it to
yeah, it will publish it to your, because what you do is you connect your Facebook and Instagram, and then you can just create the post, decide on the date, you know, the 10th of October, for example, that's World Mental Health Day, and have put a 10 in, which I need to do something for, and then you can schedule it, and then you can just sit back, and your post will go out, and you're a bit surprised that your post has gone out.
So how do you schedule more than one then? Like, so if you
because you keep going. Yeah, you keep going. So you schedule one.
Yeah.
So you schedule one, and then you can schedule another one. And actually, when you log into this on your phone, it's ever so straightforward, because I do a lot on my phone. And you log into Business Suite. Sometimes I log myself out of Facebook, out of Instagram, just to have a break. But I can still use Business Suite to post my posts, you know, so even and schedule them and just go through the Business Suite. So that's one option if you've got a business page. But let me just show you the friends page that you can convert and have. Yeah, I'll discard the changes. Right, let me go back. Right, go back to Facebook. Right, so I'm on my business page. No, I'm on the Business Suite still. Right, let me go back to Facebook. And listen, I was, and I still am, a bit of a technophobe. But over the years, I've actually learned so much about handling social media. So this is my business page, but I want to go to my what used to be my personal. Let me just see how I can find it, which I can't remember. Marcia Spence there. Let's see what I can do. Okay, Marcia Spence, the author's midwife there. And on that, you can see I've got 2,200 likes and 2,300 followers. But I want to show you my other page because I actually have more followers on there, which I don't even understand how that's happened. I think what happens is, you know, when you decline requests,
yeah,
they become your followers. So they can still follow your public posts. Right, I'm switching now. So now I'm switching to what was my personal. It has my ex-husband's name in brackets because I know it's not in brackets here, but so on here I'm Marcia Spence Williams, okay? And the reason I was Marcia Spence Williams also was because I tested, you know, where you can get a verified badge. I actually tested it on Facebook where you can get that blue tick. And I did it for a month. And so you see, it had to have that's my legal name, Marcia M. Spence Williams. My business name, my trading name is Marcia M. Spence, like my brand name. So I had to use my full name because you have to send identification. But then after a month, I cancelled it. But then my page is like a business page now, and I'll show you why. I'll show you how. Because number one, look, I've got 6,008 followers, and I'm following 2,600 followers. Okay. So on this page, so there's a way you can change your post. Hang on, is this? No, I've got to go into professional mode. So you need to choose professional mode. This might go over some people's heads. I think we might have to have I think we might have to have a specific session. But for those of you who know Facebook, all right, it's got manage posts. That's it. All right, so what can I do with these posts? Just thinking. So this is me when I was 23. I did post that. And everyone said I looked like the teacher of fame, which is what everybody said to me when I was young, actually. So, oh, it's not happening. It's not happening. I think we need a specific session on Facebook, perhaps. But those of you who understand Facebook, you can get a professional dashboard because it's look. I've got different tools here. And on your that's it. This is you press. I've got a professional dashboard, so this means I can track how successful my posts are. The engagement. Look, it's saying 4,900. I reached 4,391. That sounds weird, doesn't it? I reached less than the people that engaged in it. I don't understand that. And then I gained 18 new followers. So you can track the success of your posts. Yeah, I posted something about not being with I've taken it off now, but I did do a post about, which links to my story, about breaking up with my partner, and the interaction was just huge, which I didn't expect, and huge. And so after a few days, I hid it. I took it off because it was just too overwhelming. But it actually, when you do something like that, it actually shows you how many people actually do see your posts but don't engage them. So it's like you've got to put something powerful out there to get the engagement, but it helps you to see who's watching you, who's engaging in your posts. Okay, I'm going to go back to I'm going to stop that share. I'm going to go back to the PowerPoint and back to some of your questions as well. Okay, I know that was a bit technical there for non-social media people, and it's not. I'm not saying you have to, but social media, a lot of people just live their lives there. Yeah. I don't. People think I live on Facebook because I get messages on Facebook, but I'm actually not on. I'm just doing my posts through the business suite. So I haven't got it on my phone to answer and everything, but put your content out there. It's important for your sales and for your following, for whatever you want to achieve with your book. If you want to be a speaker, whatever you want to achieve with your book, right? To show you a bit more of my journey, which I didn't really show you very much. Okay, we didn't get very far with the slideshow, right? So that's the social media. Okay, I'll just go on to the next one. All right, so this was my journey. Right, let's go. Oh yeah, as I said earlier, chart your journey on social media. Start tripping wherever you are in the process. If your book's been out for a year, which Donald has almost been out for a year, you celebrate that anniversary. This is your book. There's an actual word, book anniversary. Okay. So, Sunada, have you celebrated your book anniversary? So, you make a big thing about it. And then that's an opportunity to attract people to your book and to you as an author. The other thing that Donald has done, which I'm looking at, I actually was checking today, is Donald has made an audiobook. And I'd encourage, so it's uploaded, it's being processed. So hopefully in the next few days, Donald, it should be live. So I know. So that's going to be, it's in time for Black History Month, it's in time for your anniversary. So he's brought out, so he published his book, and then a year later, his audiobook comes out. But again, I need to interview you on Books and Banter. I do a podcast, everyone, and I want to interview all of you on the podcast. So I will send the link out because, again, we need to talk about your journey. And I share it, and I've got a good following. So people are going to see your journey. So you're charting on social media. Let me move this out of the way. As I've said before, you share readings in lives. You go live and do a little reading from your book. Get used to reading. One of the things that I have to emphasize, authors also have to become speakers. It goes with the territory. And you get authors, well, you should have been readers before, but now that you're authors, published authors, you need to be able to read your own book. So when the time comes for you to read, make sure you've actually, practiced reading elements of your book. I like people to tell their story, but it's more powerful when you actually read the words that you wrote. I was at Irving's book launch and he read a section on his book, although, we'd worked on it, we know it kind of inside out, but it sounded so different when it was read by the author. Kind of like it hits you. So really, really important that the author reads.
Can I just say, Marcia?
Yes.
I really enjoyed doing the audio for my book.
You did.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that. It's sort of a different experience. It's like you sitting there and telling the story to people.
Exactly. And I've listened to some of your recordings, and that's exactly what it sounds like. So remember as well to reach readers, because I read, but when I say I've read the book, I'll buy the book, but I also get it on audio. And I subscribe to a site, an app called Scribd, SCRID. The E's missing, so it's Scribd. And I see some of my authors' books on there. It's fantastic. And they have audio books, they have Kindle books, and you only pay one subscription of, I think, either $10.99 or $9.99 a month. But for me, it's better than getting the Kindle app and getting Audible, because I can access audio books and everything on that app. And our books do go on there. Not everyone, it just depends on what books they want. So
can I just ask a
yes, Irving,
so can I just ask a question? It's to Donald, really.
Okay.
How did you find recording your audio book? Was there a lot of hiss and clicks from when you recorded in section, or did you just do it in one go?
I went to a studio, and this was all done via Marcia. And in my case, I went up to Manchester, and it was a studio, and I had an engineer there, and I just sat down and started reading first of all, you get a guidance as to do the start of it, and at the end of it, in terms of a start and an ending, and then you have a screen, and you just read from the screen, and you can read this. It can be scrolled to your speed, and from there you just sit and relax and tell your story by reading it, and you do it in passage, if you like, or in short. So if you do it in blocks. So if you go to the next block and you make a mistake, you don't have to go back to the very beginning. So you're just blocking it all along. But once you start reading and get into it, it's quite good. But if you make a mistake, they just pause it and you rewind or whatever and go from there and you carry on again. So I quite enjoyed that.
Brilliant. And I think, Irving, for the sound...
Can I ask?
Yeah, sorry.
How long did the whole process take?
That will depend on your size of your book and you as an individual.
Okay.
I think for Donald's, it was a day, wasn't it? Half a day to read it.
Yeah. It was about 3-4 hours at most.
I'd say for yours, Alison, yours might be over maybe 3 days. It depends on you. Yeah, the length of your book. So it depends on you, the reader. Because the other thing is, you don't want to be. You would need, you might need 16 hours. You might need 21 hours. So, because you have to read what it is, you have to practice reading each chapter, and then you read it chapter by chapter to the end. And your book is about what, nearly 90,000 words, so you know it's going to take time. And just in case you make a mistake when you're speaking, you'd have to stop, cut, start again. So it would take at least 2 days. But I would say we'd say, okay, allocate 3 days, and you do a certain number of hours, because you're going to get tired, so you need breaks, and then we start again on another day. So far, we've done another one which is out, which is Keisha Swaby. So Keisha's book, Empowering Dyslexics, is now out as an audiobook on Audible. We've got Roy McDonald, his is on Audible, and also Dr. Sue, hers is on Audible. And Donald's will be out very, very soon. But again, we can speak about that in more specifically in a one-to-one or in another session. Irvin, I think it's the engineer then, after it's recorded, he does some work on the sound. I know you're working on your audiobook at the moment, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm working on mine, but I need a good reference to find out whether it's too quiet or too loud.
All right. What I will do then, you and I have a Zoom, or we meet, and I will play you some of Donald's, and I'll play you some of Keisha's. So then you can hear the sound quality.
Yeah, that would be good.
Because you know what it needs to be then. Yeah.
Yeah, because
Sorry, can I just ask Irvin then? Are you doing that yourself then, Irvin?
Yes, I've got like a little mini studio set up.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So I'm doing that myself, and what I'm finding is I'm listening. It sounds good to me, but then I'm thinking I need to hear. I need to compare it to what it's supposed to, to sound, because I've actually started it. I've done it 3 times with different settings to see which one sounds better, and the ones that sound more clearer, sometimes you can hear all the clicks, and I know I have to go in and edit those clicks out.
Right. Okay.
What I found was I know that you do it yourself, and that's fine if you can get it right. But because somebody else was doing it with
easier
me, it was much easier, because I could concentrate on what I'm reading. And all of a sudden, the person went, oh, there was a noise there. I didn't hear any of that because I'm reading.
Yeah.
But that person who's the engineer, who's got some sort of experience, pick up on things that shouldn't be there.
Yes.
Because he's concentrating on something different to what you're concentrating on. So that's what I found that was quite good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to animate mine, Marcia.
Okay, we can do it. Our illustrator, Asher, Richard knows Asher, because Richard illustrated his cover. Asher is an animator as well. So we can do that.
That's good to know.
Animate it.
I'll do the voiceover for one of them.
Yeah. You can be a Percy.
I'll need different voices for the different animals.
Yeah, I think actually, Russell, you sound like Percy to me. Yeah. So
we'll talk about that one.
We can do that once we finish the book. And this is the thing, it doesn't stop here. In fact, this is when your book's finished. The work, there's much more work, and there are many more possibilities. So, this was my book cover many years ago. I can't read the writing there, but it's a book that I'm holding here. And then
is that you there? Is that you?
It's me, yeah.
Wow.
Me, yeah. That's me then. Right, and this is me as well. So this is just before my book was released. So I had interviews. So it's good to try and let people know. So I let people know my book was coming from about 3 months before, 4 to 3 months before it came out. And so on here, so that, that copy, I think it's this copy. Nobody had copies. It was just the first proof copy. So what I did, I was in, yeah, it is, look, it says, well, you can't see, but it says proof at the back of this book. So this proof copy, this is the exact book. I went to, I think I was in Coventry. I was invited for an interview on the Mikey D show on a radio station in Coventry. And then I also went to an event at what used to be called the Drum, which is now the Legacy Centre. And I'm here with, I don't know if any people know Shazzy D, you know, especially at that time, she's a great influencer. So she's very well known, very popular. And I actually invited her. I think I went there because I invited her to host my book launch. And then I'm there with one of the sound technicians, Purdy, who at the Drum. And then I also met, I was with Jessie Gerald, who's a well-known photographer and is in education in Birmingham. And we took photographs. So I then use these photographs on my social media. So most of these people are kind of influencers, really. And so it was even more powerful that my book was in their hands. So that was part of one of the things that I did. And one of the things you should do when you get your proof, make the most of it. Now, when the book came out, I'll just show you these, because these, especially these two photographs. Can you see a gentleman and a woman on here? All right. Oh, people say this lady and I, Christine is a singer, and people say that we look alike. So we just say that we're twins, even though we don't exactly look alike at all. But anyway, but we just say we're twins now. But let me tell you about these two people. Let me tell you about Steve over here. So Steve is a long distance lorry driver. He's a truck driver, basically. And he lives in Huddersfield. I'd never, ever met Steve. Steve was the first person to post on his social media that he'd bought a copy of my book. Now, my book was, as I said, was targeted at women. That I was looking for women in leadership who wanted to be inspired, encouraged, and maybe would come and work with me. And then my very first reader, who was so special to me, was Steve. And my book popped up in this, you know, in the truck driver's truck. So, moving forward, right. And then with Christine again, as soon as she got one of my books, she was posting that she's got a copy and how excited she was. And people just started sharing, and that was wonderful. So I was looking all around social media and there was my book. But how did that happen? I actually sponsored a radio presenter. I sponsored his show 3 months before my book was released. And on every one of his shows, he talked about my book. And his show went out to 4 different stations across the country. So I was gaining a following long before the book was released. So unreleased, I think people who followed him bought the book. People bought the book from everywhere. And I was really stunned, to be honest. And I remember after the book was released, I went into my local town, West Bromwich, and outside Tesco, they used to have, this is about 8-9 years ago now, they used to have like this Caribbean food truck. And I went to I thought, I'm going to get some lunch. So there was a little queue, and I just went to the queue. And the women around, they were looking at me, and they were like, that's Marcy Spence. She's the one that wrote the book. She's the one that wrote the book. Everything, my whole experience in the community, my mouth's a bit dry. Renee, can I have a drink, please? My mouth's very dry. Yeah, everything changed. I don't know. I'm sure that's happened for you, Irving and Claudia.
Yes, I have found that.
Yeah.
I have to think and remember that people see me as an author.
Yes.
And they want me to talk about the book, and I'm thinking of something else, and I have to kind of go into author mode and start talking about the book, and people are literally telling me off, says, where's your book? I'll buy one if you've got your book with you.
That's another thing. Everywhere you go, have copies of your book.
But the thing is, I do have copies with me, but I find it I'm not used
I
to saying,
know.
if you want a copy of my book, here you go. I've got my card
Don't
ready.
say it. Yeah.
I don't have any problem with that bit. I'll
I-
sell it.
yeah. I'm like you, Irving. I find that difficult. But you must have them on you because people are going to ask you. You know.
Well, I've probably lost a few sales because
Yeah.
they've asked me, and I said it's in the car, and I just
Yeah.
I'll get it in a minute, and I don't.
Yeah.
And like now, when that happens, whatever I'm doing, I stop and I go and get them, and I'm getting more confident with the fact that I just carry my backpack with me anyway.
Well, I was going to say you need one of them
Yeah.
big man bags and just
Yeah,
have it
can
with
I
you.
say that we learned that from one of those times when you brought someone on, didn't you, Marcia?
Yes, before. Yeah,
So I
yeah.
learned that, and he said he'd always had a good
Yeah.
few books in his bag.
That's
So
right.
I've learned that from, and also to have a machine, because a lot of people will
Yes, want
they
to pay
want
by
this-
card.
yeah,
Yes.
like card. So I've got those two things, and I find them quite useful.
I
And
mean,
I also
go on. So I say I've got the whole setup. It's just I'm just going to take it out the car and bring it with me.
yeah, have it in your
Okay.
bag. Have a bag.
Bring it with you.
Yeah, it's all in a bag. It's all there. It's just that
I just put it on my shoulder.
Yeah.
I suppose you feel like a constant salesperson, don't you?
Yeah,
But you
that's the
don't
thing.
just have them ready. You don't have to push it.
Yeah.
But people will ask you.
Can I say also, Marcia,
Yes.
about the column that I have? That
Oh yes, yeah.
it's a big readership online, a newspaper column in the Phoenix in the Phoenix.
Oh yeah,
news-
Irving's been in it actually.
Yeah.
In the Phoenix on your column. Yes.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay,
So
right.
also
Yes.
there are opportunities, yes, to have a feature in the Phoenix newspaper if you so wish through Donald. We also do press releases. We do e-blasts on social media. If there's anything additional you want, we can either do it or we find someone that we partner with to do it. I just want to talk about book launches because this is me at my book launch. And it was a moment when we were getting some food. I had an opportunity to get some food. And it was that moment when I was just like, I did it. It's just, I did it. That I don't know how the photographer captured it because that was a private moment of me just saying, because I was in the environment at the Lord. Tears are coming to my eyes now about it. That and the other thing is, do you know that the majority of authors do cry at their book launch? It's because it's such a great achievement. But I was there in the midst of all the people and everything had come together. And the dress I had on was a dress that I bought like about 5 years before, and it just never could fit me, or I didn't have the confidence to wear it. And my book again was about confidence, you see, building your confidence. So it was important to me to wear that dress. So everything was symbolic. And I did wear the dress, and it was quite short and had little feathers on the bottom, and it was revealed my back. But it's because I never ever, and yet when I was young and really slim, I didn't have the confidence to wear clothes like that. And then at this point, when I did this, I was about 48. But it took me to 48 to have the confidence to put, even though I was a much bigger size, and I wore it and I did it and I achieved it. And it was just a great, great momentous moment. Now you can launch your book however you want to. You can do a tour and go to different, depends on your network. You can go to bookstores, have book signings, you can go to cafes, you can go, if it's a Christian book, go to churches. Some churches let you have a stand at the back or in the room, in the community room. Look for opportunities to display and sell your book. Have a book launch. I had a book launch because I wanted to celebrate me and my achievement, and the support was phenomenal. I booked out a whole restaurant, my favorite restaurant, and we had food. In fact, they made a mistake because I only asked for canapes, and we ended up with almost like a 2-course meal. Italian. It was amazing. And I believe after that, I wanted to do another event because it was such great value. And then the price had like quadrupled after this. And also the manager that I worked with, she'd been demoted. So it was she made a mistake, but never mind. I took it as a blessing, you know. So we all had this fabulous meal. See if I've got any more photos. And then what is crucial is the book sign. Oh, is the book signing part. Let's go back. So here I am. The lady that I'm with is actually my aunt. She's my mum's sister. And it was wonderful. Do you know her, my auntie Lynn?
Yeah, I know her.
And
yeah, I know her.
Yeah, you probably do. Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah. And
yes.
yeah. And I'm signing a copy of my book for her. But everybody who came to the launch could sit down and have their book signed. My book was released on Amazon on the 9th of April. So a lot of people had bought copies bought copies before. That was fine. They came along with the copies and I signed those. People bought books and I actually did tickets for mine. So people could buy tickets and a book was included in that. So that helped me as well because I got the funds in first before the launch. I got the funds in order to buy the copies for people to buy. And yeah, my book was the first book I'd ever published on Amazon. And that was the beginning of Marcia M Publishing House starting, because once I did it, I think I utilized social media. I utilized all mediums because I was in some newspapers. I had lots of interviews because it was promoted so well on radio and on social media. People who had published books and weren't having success with the marketing started coming to me to help them. They came to me to host their book launches. And so that's how my journey began. And then I won an award and I went to Croydon for the award. And then one of the women there said to me, she's from Liverpool, and she said, I want you to republish my book. And I said, I don't do publishing. I've just done my book. And then that's where it began. She kept begging me and begging me. We did it. And we republished hers, and then the rest is history. There's a bit of the food that we had, but there was so much. It was wonderful. And here's just another photograph of the audience. I think they were just taking photographs of. So I did it as a kind of a cocktail and canapes occasion, but it was in the day, and people brought their families and things like that. I think this is all I've got on this. Oh yeah, more of the food. Come on, let's show you the food. It was just marvelous. It was very sophisticated. It was lovely, and we had a great time, and I had a great time. I was shattered, and it was emotional, and it was just a wonderful way to celebrate. I know that Claudia had a great launch. Claudia actually did dance at her launch because she loves to dance. Irving had a launch. Irving's a saxophonist. He played with his band at his launch, and it was a great time. Some people have private launches so mine wasn't necessarily, I didn't just restrict it to people I know. I made it open that whoever wants to come can come. Other events like Irving's was by private invite only. So was Claudia's. So we I think it was through Claudia's networks. It wasn't like specifically private, but it was a limited number of people. You can have a small occasion, but it is lovely to mark the occasion for your book.
Can I just say
that? And you had an online one, didn't you?
Yeah, that's what I was just
going to say. That worked.
Yeah, because it was
amazing.
It became a little bit more than just a book launch. It's like a family reunion from California to Caribbean, right across the world.
It was wonderful.
I think and it was just really, really good. So I haven't actually had practical experience with that, but the online one was very good experience. Yeah.
To be honest, the online launch works. It works. It's economical. It helps you to reach people from all over the world, and I do my best. If I'm hosting it, I do my best to create that warm fun. We had fun at Donald's launch. I'll send the links out to you guys. You can have a look. But we had fun, and it was an online launch, And obviously during the lockdown, all that we could do was online launches. And so and they worked. And so, you know, you can do lots of different things with your book and get your story out. Okay. I think we're coming to, let me see, do we have, and that's the end. But I just wanted to share a bit of my journey, and just, I suppose, what I'm saying by showing you is that I've been in the same place as you. You know, I've been in the same place. I've felt the anxiety when your book is about to come out, and when your book, oh, look at that, there's Percy. Can you see Percy? Right. Yeah. So that's wonderful. So you can do, there's lots you can do online. Yeah. And
she's laughing there.
Yeah. Okay. That's wonderful. So yeah, so there's lots that you can do as a published author. You don't have to, you can wait. Some people finish their book and then decide, right, I'm so busy with something else. And then they pick the book up again. So remember, you have it for life. So if you need a break from doing book things, because you're doing other things, then have a break, but it's always there. And then you can decide, you know something, and a couple of years down the line, I'm going to bring my book to the forefront again. Donald, you were going to say?
Yeah, so with this, the fact that I've done the audio side now,
yeah,
and also it's my book anniversary.
Book anniversary, yeah.
Book anniversary, yeah.
So we've got to celebrate it.
Yeah, so we
somehow.
kind of maybe, somehow, either combination of or individually, but yeah.
Yeah, because you could use your column to do it. You could use your website, use your social media. You could hold an event, just a book signing. You don't even have to do a lavish book launch. You can do book signings where you're in a popular place. You know, it could be a restaurant, cafe, bookstore, museum, library.
Sounds brilliant.
You could, okay. You can. Another idea, which I was planning to do before Christmas, was in shopping centres, say the Bullring or any of those. You can get pop-up shops, and I checked it out, and it probably costs between, I know the one, but I'm in West Bromwich, so the one in West Bromwich, but it's a nice shopping centre, and you can have a pop-up shop for about £180. But if you choose, you know, the busy days, and it's leading up to Christmas or it's leading up to some occasion, you can do promotions like that. You know, there may be stores that you can get a pop-up shop in. You know, there was an author. Sorry.
That'd be good because I'm not far from Merry Hill, am I?
So you could definitely do that for us. Definitely. Merry Hill Shopping Centre, wherever, and get pop-up shops. You can do markets if you want to, you know, and you can get market stores quite cheap for a day. You know, like you can get market stores, the outdoor ones though, you know, you can get them really quite cheap and dress it nicely, and you can, you know, you can sell your books to the public, so that obviously your book's going to go online, it's going to go onto Amazon. You can do promotions on Amazon, you can do ads on Amazon, and so that's another way to reach people. But again, it costs money. The things that I think don't cost you money but is time is using social media, because all of that promotion that apart from I sponsored the radio show, I shared everything on social media, all the photographs from my launch, all the, you know, everything. Then that attracts people to the book. If they didn't buy it before, they're going to say, oh, such and such was at the look, such and such has got the book, I'm going to get it, you know, so things like that. I've no idea of the time, guys. Yes, I do. It's 11 minutes past 8, so we're at the end, really. What I do want from you all, because I want to start to do, I'm going to start, because we used to run Academy, and we haven't been running the academy the way that we did in lockdown for some time. So I want to bring that back where my authors get a time, time with the author's midwife, time with the memoir motivator. So you can ask questions, but I can also share. So what I would like from you, because I've noted already some specific things that we need to do, just a workshop on, on KDP, for example, Kindle Direct Publishing. We need to do how to use that, which I'm planning to do a group session and one-to-ones, but also utilizing social media, how to write a press release, how to do this, who to contact. So there's a lot of PR work that we could look at, and also how to maximize and that's how you're going to maximize the income that you get from your book sales. But remember, and I'm going to say this because actually you can make money. You can definitely make a return, a good return on your investment. If not in the first year, at least in the second year. But you have to do some work in order to do that. So that's vitally important. But I'd say for me, the satisfaction of publishing a book goes far beyond the money side and the difference that it makes to your life once your book is published. As I said, the whole atmosphere around me changed when I became a published author. And because remember, I suppose it's going back to when we were growing up, that you couldn't get books published. You would be in awe of these great, famous publishers and you're like, wow. And I love books. I grew up loving books. So to become an author, it's that dream that you didn't think would happen, or it's that dream and finally it's happened. And but it's a dream that you've actually worked really hard to achieve, because you've had to write the book. You've had to go through all the processes to get it finished. So I don't want to take away. Can you use that as front? Can you use the peacock as front cover, or will there be liabilities? You mean the actual photo of that peacock?
Yeah.
A photograph of it?
Yeah.
You could? Is it yours? Do you own it?
I bought it.
Okay, we'll talk about that then.
Yeah, I'll probably keep the one I sent you.
We'll double check it. We'll double check it. Yeah. Okay. So don't underestimate. It is not all about money. I mean, I'm talking about maximizing your sales so your message reaches as many people as possible. And we're writing a book for other people, so we need to know how to find those people and identify those people who need this message. I think it's really helpful to be very transparent as well about your life, not just the highs, the lows, when you're sharing, because I think that's when people will connect, because a lot of people sit on experiences that they're having and don't know who they could share it with. And then when you share through your posting and through your book, that's when, oh, thank you, Denise. Yeah, and we're wrapping up now, actually. I'm wrapping up, but I'm just one of those people who just likes talking. And
so lovely to meet everyone. It's been a fantastic session.
Thank you for coming, and come again. Yeah, you're welcome to any of our sessions.
Hello, everyone.
Okay, bye. And I'm going to go. So I'm just going to go, but I'm just saying, don't underestimate the achievement and, what that means to actually have written a book and publish a book, because it's big. It is a big thing. It's a lot. And as you all know, it's a lot of hard work. Yeah. So, but the journey continues, and then you'll be in Irving's position where you have to have the books all around you in your bags, and Claudia's position as well, so yeah. But they seem to be enjoying their author journey. So it is a journey and a half. Yes, and Sanada. All right then. All right, I'm going.
Bye.
I've got to go.
Bye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you very much for this.
Everybody.
Excellent.
Please send me any other questions that I might have provoked. Bye, everyone.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.